Hi, it's Mark from Mark of the Cyberbeast, and today we're going to talk about the leaky tonneau cover and some solutions for it. Now, as you know, I'm a 35-year pickup truck owner, and during that time, most of my trucks have had what's called a trifold, or the name brand was called Trifecta tonneau cover. And what it was it's a three-piece, obviously, tri. It was in the bed, and then it folded over twice, and it would connect down here in the bed, and you can fold it up, again, fold it up twice, and then attach the clips to it, and it would hold it open if you needed an open bed. You can actually take it off pretty easily, or you can make it a complete, cover, but it was pretty waterproof, but not really waterproof. All tonneau covers will get some degree of water in. The only ones that don't get water in are those cabs you see. They usually have weather stripping, they're sealed very well, you pay a premium for it, but those are supposed to be watertight. I think I had one on one of my trucks, and one of my first pickups, I had an old Toyota, it was lifted with big tires, and it had a cover on it, and that was waterproof. Now, as I told you earlier this week, I went to Raleigh, and they said that they were going to do some waterproofing to my tonneau cover. Now, what I did was, before I started this video, I ran the hose full blast on the roof here for a few minutes, and you can see water definitely got in here. Not a lot, as they definitely, whatever they did in Raleigh helped. Still not waterproof at all. The water rolls off, and obviously we'll get back in here. You can see, hopefully back here, it's definitely on the molly rack. So the water definitely still gets in here. What I'm going to do today is we installed the Cybertruckco.com spoiler on the tailgate last week. Well, this week, now I told you I got both parts. Now those parts were sent to me because they wanted me to show you guys both of them. They are sold separately, just want to be clear about that. The spoiler definitely looks sporty. I brought it to the service center. They went gaga over the polished truck. They liked the spoiler, it looked really good. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put the top spoiler on here. Now, to do that, as we discussed prior, we've got our Studio rear view dash cam here that we're going to have to remove and then reaffix onto the spoiler after we attach that. So since I watered it down to kind of do the water test for the tonneau cover, what I'm going to do right now is let this thing dry. Now here we are, it's a nice, heck, it has to be 86-degree, beautiful South Carolina day right before Memorial Day weekend. And I just wanted to let this dry because I know we're going to have to adhese with double-sided tape that it comes with right here and also right here. So what we're going to do is try to let this dry off. So I am going to run to Batteries Plus. I'm going to get a jet ski battery, come on back, and probably this will be dry. And then we're going to do the installation process of this spoiler. And then once that dries on there, I'm going to do a water test. I'm going to test this thing again and see if it helps with getting everything off here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive with the top off back here, or should I say the tonneau cover off back here in the bed, and let all this stuff dry up, let the sun really kind of evaporate it quite a bit, because I want a true test. I want to make sure I'm telling you guys this cover is going to help really remove water from the bed or not, because again, the way this is designed, it just seems as though water is just going to get in here to some degree. Some of you may be DJs that you may just need to have dry. Maybe you have suitcases in here and you're traveling, you want it dry. We want to see what that option is, and that spoiler does look pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is step off of here, and I'm going to do a little errand run, come on back, and then we're going to start filming again. So hang tight, and we'll see you in just a second. Okay, so I ran out to Batteries Plus, came back, and here we are in the south. You wait 5-10 minutes, everything dries up. So we have a dry bed, dry tonneau cover, everything's good to go. So first thing I'm going to do is remove this camera system. I got a razor here I'm going to use to gently peel it off from the double-sided tape, that 3M tape that they use, which is extremely powerful. Okay, I just wanted to be careful not to scratch the cover. I did not. I'm going to take this double-sided tape off. It's on here pretty darn good. But again, a razor should do this trick pretty well. It's definitely going to leave behind some residual though. I found that peeling with my finger yielded better results than the razor. Okay, so I cleaned this off pretty darn good, but I also want to use some of that solvent that Cybertruckco.com gives you. But let's take a look at this top spoiler here. Now, the unit actually does, I'm going to step aside here, extend about inch to inch and a half on each side of the opening to the tonneau. I'm pretty sure that's to help eliminate water from going in. Now, if you look on the back here, we've got the lip coming right here. That's where it'll adhere to. And then the top on front, if we look here, this is where it's going to go. And this solution will evaporate pretty quickly, so make sure you get it on very quickly. Again, they do give you plenty, so feel free to. I've been using 1/2 for each one. Okay, one more time I'm going to line this thing up. Okay, what I'm going to do is I am going to adhere the front portion first. I'm not going to pull the strip off the rear yet. I want to get the front in place, kind of lined up and secured, and then go ahead and do the rear. To me, that seems like the safest play. But I am going to start taking off the tape off the side, just so I have a starting point. Crease it right there, just like that. I'm going to do that to both sides. Okay. Okay, I'll show you what I've done, just so I can give you an idea. I removed this strip from the front, took a couple inches off each side and creased it back. And then once I get that in place, I'll adhere that to the back portion. But I want to get this on here, and I want to get it on straight as accurately as possible. Right. tight over here. So I'm going to now pull this adhesive off. Pressing it in to make sure it adheses very well. Seems like it did. Okay, so now we're just going to test closing up the tonneau cover. Okay, no problem there. Open it back up. Okay. Reason why this left side has caused me a little bit of an issue, I'll turn this over here for you, is it looks like when I had service at Raleigh, they peeled up this piece from the recall, and I can see that there's a bit of a lip here from where they probably grabbed it. And I'm just trying to bang it down in there because they did do something to the plastic at the service center. Not intentionally, but they did something. So it's adhered here pretty darn well. Now, the camera is next. So we're going to take a look here what I'm doing at the camera. And the camera is next. So now I'm looking to see where this originally was in the center. And I'm looking right here with the center of the bed. And I'm seeing it to be right around here. I have some slack I can pull from. So what I'm going to do right now, before I fix any kind of double-sided tape to this, I want to see what it looks like on my Studio dash cam. So one thing I noticed is because of the angle, it swoops upward. I'm gonna have to adjust this camera to point downward a little bit, no big deal because it does swivel, but I'm probably gonna put it close to the lip just so I have a better vantage point rather than down here, because I really don't want to shoot up high. I want to shoot towards a trailer if I'm pulling something. So I've got some leeway here from where I ran my wire. I just want to make sure I'm right in the middle. My cable is going to stick out a little bit. I kind of don't like that, but I don't have a whole lot of room. I made it real taut all the way to the end here where that fiber connection is. So I'm just going to have to accept the fact that it looks. So if I come in close here, hopefully you can see. That's about what I'm going to have to deal with. Okay, so got this thing down here. Might give it a little bit more of an angle. I'm going to adjust my camera on my test studio, but that's not part of this video. So what we're going to do right now is simply close everything up, show you what it looks like, and get your input. So hang on. Okay, so we're going to adjust this camera right to about here. That's a pretty good feel. I think I got a good vantage point there, so we're good where that is set up. Got a great vantage point on this studio camera. I think I like the elevated look. Everything's looking great. So I'm gonna keep this exactly where it's at. Now, let's take a look at what it looks like. So I went ahead and closed the tonneau cover. Beautiful water stains I have on here. Sorry about that. Gotta clean that. But we're gonna do another water test, so hang on. So here's the top spoiler right up here. You can see it's very flush. Has definitely an OEM type feel. Again, made in the USA, tariff-free, American-made muscle put into this. It was made in California, Escondido, I want to say, and it matches very well to my rear spoiler back here. So let's take a quick look from the rear. Guaranteed another 30 miles more per charge. Okay, I'm lying, but it looks good. More smiles per gallon. How about that? More smiles per gallon. We're in the shade here. Maybe not the best. This has still got a little bit of elevation on here. I do have some concern here. I'm gonna have to work on this. It's on the one side. So I'll reach out to Roger, get his opinions on it. Everything's nice and flush over here. Let's take a look. Here we go. There's the Sporto new look. We'll start with the front. Look at that gorgeous light bar. Look at that Cyberbeast OEM light bar. And then we'll shoot on back to the spoilers. Now, before we sign off, I told you we're gonna do a water test. The only concern I have, again, I'm gonna have to figure out why this lip isn't going down all the way. Okay, had to do a little follow-up the following day. So what I did was, this top cover here is held in by two T30, which is a Torx bit, T30 bits, where, hang on, if you look right back here, there's one on each side, okay? Now you be careful, do not drop those, okay? Make sure you do not drop them. But what I did was I took them out of both sides. Once you do that, this top piece from Tesla, this top hard plastic, pops up from the back upward. Just muscle it, it'll come up. And we actually took that up when we did the camera installation. And when I did that, I was able to, if you can see over here, get this in between the crease of these two, pushed it back down, retightened it up. What I'm going to do right now is talk to Roger, and I'm going to silicone the front of this. I'm also going to silicone this gap right here between this one that goes perpendicular across the truck and the one that goes horizontal. I guess the pilar, I guess, or the rail. I guess they call it the rail, I guess. And he said that's also where water comes into the bed of the truck, because he also does tents. So I'm going to silicone this, and make this as waterproof as possible. And we'll do another episode in the future about any other tricks and tips to make the tonneau cover as waterproof as possible. Really looks like it's gonna really do the job. It's gonna go ahead and get in here and block everything from getting everything wet. So that's the news here. So before I go, as always, hit like, comment, subscribe. We will see you guys again tomorrow.